If you're significantly overweight like I was at 350 pounds, I know you don't want to feel like this. I know you're tired of it. I know you're so tired of hating yourself and feeling disgusted with yourself. I know you're tired of isolating and cutting yourself off from the rest of the world because you just don't want anyone to know how big this problem is. But they know because they see you, and they know it's because you're not coping with something. My name is Easter, and I want to talk to you today about food and the relationship you have with it and what the truth is. I turned to food for stress. If I had a bad day, which happened often, I turned to food. If I had a good day, I turned to food. I just filled myself with food sometimes so much that I was so stuffed. I felt like a sausage and I couldn't cram one crumb more down my throat. It was disgusting. I actually felt disgusted by the time I finished doing it. But when I went to the food, when I wandered over to the kitchen and I grabbed that box of cookies or I grabbed that bag of chips, made myself some more popcorn. Yes, popcorn. I had the hugest bowl you could ever imagine of popcorn every freaking night. That would be my second or third binge of the day, by the way. So when you're walking over there and you're like, oh, thank God I can have some food. Thank God there's some chips here. Thank God there's some ice cream here. Thank God, really? Because what happens? Let's be honest. You sit down, you've got the full thing there, and you feel, oh, that's better. That's what I needed. And then a few seconds later, you taste and it's like, ah, yes, for a few seconds. Then you swallow it. And you do it over and over again until everything that you can consume is down your throat. And then that hole that you were trying to fill up, that dark, empty space that hasn't got self worth, that hasn't got self kindness, that doesn't have a string of belief in yourself, all of that gets bigger because now have you not only had it earlier, but you've compiled it by eating 4,000 calories and adding tons of crap to your body that you just didn't need to have. So you waddle off to bed feeling ashamed of yourself, feeling disgusted with yourself, hating yourself for being so weak. It's not that you're weak. First of all, you're not weak. You just don't have the coping strategies. And I want to be able to help you learn those strategies. I want you to learn what I know so that you can get out of your hole too, like I did. So let's examine what food is. How many times do I hear from you? And how many times did I say, but food is all I've got? Food is my only friend. Really? Is it your friend? It calls to you all the time. It's always making you feel like it wants you. It's almost like it is calling you to it instead of you saying, I'm making the decision to eat now. Does it ever go like that? No. You never say, I'm going to sit down and consume 4,500 calories and have a box of Tim Hortons cookies with an ice cap and a macchiato and a blueberry muffin and maybe a wrap on the side as well. Maybe I'll have a second one when I'm done. When I'm finished eating like that, I don't feel like, oh, I came in so happy to have this and I eat the food and I walk out thinking, oh, what the heck did I do again? Why do I always do this? Why can't I be normal and stop eating like everybody else does? Because I'm not eating for the sake of nourishing my body. I'm eating because I'm trying so desperately to fill that hole that somebody else made. You have that hole too, and food is not going to fill it. Food's not going to give you a big hug and say, you know what? I love you. You can get through today and you can do this. It's not going to say to you, here, you know what? Here are some strategies to deal with the stress you're dealing with so that you don't have to pack on all of those calories and you don't have to feel ashamed of yourself. Here, I love you. I love you. If food were that, why, when you're finished, do you feel so guilty? Why, when you're finished, do you feel so disgusted with yourself? When you're thinking food is my only friend, when you finish eating it, you feel more disgusted with yourself than you did before you ate it to comfort whatever it was you were comforting. Does this make sense? I think it does. So stop thinking that food is a friend. And when you start to feel pulled to the kitchen, when you start to feel pulled to those little nooks and crannies where you have your little treats and you have your sneaky food from when you run out of all the other stuff, or the sneaky food that nobody else knows about, been there. Yes, I did. I have a closet in my room right over there. And I had 56 boxes of these big ass cookies from Tim Hortons. I was astounded. My sister was here with me and we counted the boxes and she was like, "Oh, ah, ah," and it kept coming and coming and coming. I had forgotten they were in there, but I used to hide them thinking, oh, nobody's going to know. I won't put it in the garbage. So in my wardrobe, I had all of these cookie boxes and they just kept coming. But I was 350 pounds. Everybody I knew, everybody I saw on the street, every stranger that passed by me said, oh, that girl has a problem with food. Hello, yes, I did. And I probably still would if I'm not careful. So I'm careful. And I have the tools and the strategies in place for when I'm having a bad day and I'm feeling like I'm teetering on, oh, I just need to do something. I've got to do something. Yes, I do. But it's not eating food. It's not compulsive behaviors. It's not something I'm going to regret later. I purposefully stop what I'm doing when I feel an urge to eat or when I'm feeling really angry or feeling really, really bitter or really agitated or really sad. I stop and I start purposely journaling to talk about my feelings, to try to recognize, even if it's just bullet form, line by line by line, I get to the bottom of what's going on here and here so that I cannot go and stuff myself here and grow to 350 pounds again, God forbid. So if you're sitting there and you're saying, oh my gosh, that sounds right. I think she's got this. I think she's got this right. Can you please spend some time today and ask yourself this simple question? Is food really your friend? Please think about this. I can't tell you how many of you say to me, but it's all I have. You don't have it. It has you in the clutches of its horrible, greedy, nasty hands, and it's not letting you go. Your emotions, your hurts, your fears, your stress, your boredom, your loneliness, your sadness is being consumed by food. And it's feeding your sadness and it's feeding your loneliness and it's feeding your isolation. When are you going to say, I don't think that I need food to do this for me? Maybe going to a therapist would be a great idea. Maybe joining an online group would be a good idea. Maybe talking to a professional. Maybe going into a community like a Facebook community or the very community on my channel that's forming and supporting each other. And thank you for that, guys. It's lovely. There are so many good people who've been there or who are on their way of getting out of there that love to help other people get out. And I'm one of them, and I'm here because of that. Despite the fact that I was so ashamed to start a channel because I didn't want anybody in the world to see how fat I had gotten. I was so ashamed of myself. But instead, I gathered the courage and I put myself out there. And yes, people I know did see and people I know did comment on it, but it doesn't matter because it's helping people. And I hope it helps you. And I hope you decide that today is the day you're really going to do some self examination and be honest with yourself and talk to yourself and ask yourself, Is food really comforting me? Is my emotional pain going to be healed by how horrible I feel after I eat? Please leave a comment down below and let me know your decision. Are you going to let food lie to you anymore? Are you going to lie to yourself anymore about the food? Are you going to be honest with yourself and recognize that, wow, this is a vicious cycle that I'm in. I want out of it, and I need those tools and coping strategies now? Leave me a comment, give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. I'll be back very soon with much more for you.